Hi, my name is Joseph Richter, and this is the process speech. Have you ever thought to yourself, well, I really want to be active, and I really want to be healthy, but with all the obligations that I have this summer, I just don't see how I can do both. And like many of you, I'm there right with you. While I'm taking this class, I'm also doing another online class, and in addition to that, I'm working full-time at Kroger, averaging about 35 hours a week. At the beginning of summer, I was really stressing out about how I was going to be able to do all of that stuff and fulfill family and friend obligations, let alone sleep too. And I think with this speech, I finally figured out how I can manage all of the things that I have to do. And in this speech, I'll outline how we can stay active, how we can achieve a healthy diet, and how both of those will in turn affect our work environment. Now, when I say stay active, I don't necessarily mean going to the gym every day in weight training. As I actually encourage this, I can see how this may not be the most appropriate means of working out for those who are busy, like us. The way that I try to stay active with all of my obligations is I try to infuse physical activity into all that I do. For example, whenever I hang out with my friends, I try and say, hey, let's go for a bike ride, let's go swimming, let's go outside even, as opposed to, let's play video games, let's just stay on our phones and just do nothing all day. That's just one way that I try to stay active. Another way that I try to stay active is I am a high school volleyball coach, and while I have the obligation of being there, I also have practiced physical activity while I practice with the girls and help them improve on their skills. And as physical activity is of the utmost importance in having a healthy lifestyle, having a well-balanced diet is of equal or more importance in having a healthy lifestyle. Now, when I say diet, I don't mean stop eating. That's not what I mean at all. As a car cannot run without fuel, we cannot run without food. Now, what I mean by dieting is maybe looking at what you're eating and maybe cutting back maybe on some of the calories and carbohydrates that you're intaking. And if you do this, you can easily see an improvement in your physical stamina and just your emotional state in general. And while I say this, I also want to remind you guys that you need to reward yourself. If you want a cookie every once in a while, definitely have a cookie. Just remember that moderation is key. The last thing I have to say about food and having a healthy, balanced diet is stay hydrated. As our body is made up of 3/4 water, it is very important that we do not lose any of it. And it is very important for us to replenish it. And as we look at both of these things meaning food and staying active, now let's look at how it can affect our work environment. For those of you who have practiced this before, you know that when you don't uphold this, work can seem very lethargic and it's just not a pleasant experience. But when you do this, it actually makes work a lot more pleasant and potentially even enjoyable. And as someone that's lived on both sides of the spectrum here, I can easily testify and say that practicing a balanced diet and doing all of this that I mentioned in this speech actually does make work more enjoyable, and it makes time go by so much more faster. And I know I've thrown a lot of information at you, but if you can remember to eat right and just stay active and try to infuse physical activity in all that you do, you will clearly see that you can easily make up for all of the